So this hour, we are tracking Helene, now a full-fledged hurricane.
It is barreling toward Florida's Gulf Coast after it strengthened into a Category 1 storm over the Gulf of Mexico. Helene expected to make landfall in Florida's Big Bend region tomorrow night as a Category 3 hurricane.
Millions of people are preparing as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis declared a state of emergency for nearly the entire state. Dozens of school districts and universities have already canceled classes. Several evacuation orders are also in place. And some people are being told they could lose power for up to a week. The impacts from the storm could reach all the way up to the state of Tennessee. NBC News correspondent Jesse Kirsch is tracking the latest from Cedar Key, Florida. But we're going to start with meteorologist Bill Karen. So, Bill, what's the National Hurricane Center saying about the strength of this storm?
They're saying it's a Category 1 with potential to get maybe to a strong 3, low-end Category 4. So that's scary stuff for wherever that heads inland. And this storm's going to have it on. Life-threatening winds, storm surge, and rainfall. Far inland, too. Way far inland. So the storm itself is exiting the Yucatan. It weakened, or I should say, it stopped intensifying as much when it was near the Yucatan. The land interaction, a little bit of dry air has gotten into it, and you can actually see that right here, this little blue area here. But once it gets over the Gulf fully, over very warm water, it's going to start to rapidly intensify once again later on tonight. By tomorrow at this time, we should be talking about a storm approaching the Big Bend area of Florida. Excellent agreement that it's heading somewhere just south of Tallahassee, and that should go right through Tallahassee. It's going to be a big storm, and it's going to be moving incredibly fast, which means it's going to bring strong winds far north, all the way up towards Atlanta. Could have wind gusts in the 60 to 70 mile per hour range. So widespread power outages. And look at all the computer models. Excellent agreement. There's really not much doubt of where the storm is heading. It's more a question of how strong can it get. That Cedar Key to Tallahassee area is the area of greatest concern. The storm surge numbers have been raised to the right of this landfall, somewhere in this little bend area here, 12 to 18 feet. There's not a lot of population centers in here, but for the few that are there, you have to be out. Everyone's got to be gone. It's going to be scary to see what it looks like with 18 feet possibly of water. And then the flash flood threat is really strong. High risk. Mountains of North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. I mean, life-threatening conditions starting tonight and lasting for another 2 days.
Yeah, and Bill, you just said everybody's got to get out of Cedar Key, but that does not include reporters, unfortunately, and that's exactly where Jesse Kirsch is. I know that area, Jesse, is still rebuilding from Hurricane Debbie, which happened just last month, and Hurricane Idalia, which hit, what, a year ago, just over a year ago? So how are they getting ready for this?
Yeah, and by the way, Kate, to be clear, we're going to be out of here before landfall. I promise you that. Take a look at what's going on right now. They're boarding up these buildings. We've been seeing this up and down this block, and I want to give you some perspective on what the water could be here. Remember, Hurricane Debbie, as you mentioned, happened over the summer. That brought storm surge of around 6 feet to Cedar Key. We could see more than double that storm surge after this storm. I want to show you this bank over here. Spoke with someone who was boarding this up earlier, and here's what he told me about the storm surge from Debbie. He said that the storm surge brought the water level around here, okay? We're talking about storm surge from this storm, from Hurricane Helene, that could bring the water level above my head. Just gives you an idea of how much water is going to be here, and just reaffirming what Bill was just saying there. You got to get out.
Really important information there. Jesse Kirsch, Bill Cairns, we appreciate it. Thank you both.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.